Okay, so for this one, we're going to set up with our target leg forwards and a slight knee bend. Okay, so we don't want a straight knee, we want a slight knee bend. This back leg, we're just going to be up on our toes, okay? It should just be there for balance. So if I pick that up right now, I should be taking most of my weight through this front leg. Okay, so back leg's just there for balance. Next cue is that rather than having my pelvis square on, I'm just gonna, these are my two hip bones facing forwards. I'm just gonna rotate so that they point off at about a 10 to 15 degree angle over my stance leg. So I'm rotating my hips towards my stance leg. That's gonna bias this hip into internal rotation, which is gonna help us get more length through the glutes as we hinge backwards, okay? So slight bend of the knee, little rotation of the pelvis, and this back leg is just here for balance. From here, I'm going to put my fingers on my hip bone, my thumbs on my rib cage. As I hinge back, I'm going to think about pushing my bum straight back to the back wall of this room, okay? Now, the important thing is that two things happen. As I hinge back, one, I don't want this distance to change, okay? So I don't want, as I hinge backwards, I don't want my fingers and my thumbs to get closer together and I'm actually just flexing my spine. Or the opposite might happen where I hinge back and actually I start arching through my back and this distance gets wider, okay? So this distance does not change, that's why your hands are here. Okay, and then the second thing we don't want to happen is, as I push my bum straight to the back of the room, what will often happen is people will find, if I ask them to pick this back leg up now, they've shifted some weight onto it. So if they pick that leg up, they're going to fall over, okay? So as you move back into this hinge, your bum is pushing straight back to the back wall. This distance is not changing, and at all times, you can check yourself, I could still pick my back leg up, okay? So I've still got all the weight through this leg. You should be feeling a decent amount of length going through this glute now. And now to come back out, two things I'm going to focus on. I'm going to push through my midfoot, which you should be aware of now. And then secondly, my knee is going to stay forwards, okay? So as I push through my midfoot, my hips come back through, my knee stays forwards so that my hip extends over my knee. What we don't want happening, a bad rep, would be that my knee extends first and then my hip comes through, okay? So once you're down here in this lengthened position, I then want you to check that you've got all that weight on that leg. You should be feeling a good amount of length down that glute. And now, keep that knee forwards, push through your midfoot. Your hip is going to come through over your bent knee and finish in the start position.